I don't think we're taking advantage enough of all of the changes that are happening right now in the world of creativity. And let me tell you why. Of course, first let me take these off. My name is Alex August, and I go by Alex the Storyteller. For the last 6 years, I have been meticulously building my style of storytelling to really create visuals as well as just a narrative and almost an archival established documentation of what's going on around us. So I'm always in tune. I always keep my ears to the both to the streets as well as to the industry. I look around here in the Tampa Bay area, and I'm always looking at I'm tapping in to see who's doing what, how is it shaping, how are the events that seem completely disconnected impacting us, our communities, and everything, and then also what's happening in the industry as a whole. And what I see right now is it's just a perfect opportunity for us. And when I say us, I don't mean that as a necessarily demographic. I don't mean that as I don't mean it could be so many different us's, because right now there's a tension between big tech and small creators. And I think that this tension's been going on for a little while now, where we're gonna tell you guys how to use these platforms, but it's but this is how we use it. You know what I mean? This is who we are. This is how we use it. Well, this is intended to do this. We're gonna block this. We're gonna stop this. We're gonna add this. We're gonna do this. And throughout all of these changes that big tech continuously tries to do, creators have always been creators. You go back 15, 16 years ago, you're gonna be watching videos by Dormtainment on YouTube. The original skits. The original skits. You know what I mean? 15, 16 years ago, Jack Conte and his band are selling, they're tapping in with their audience. They're doing shows. They did a show at a laundromat a couple years thereafter. And so creators have always been creators. We're gonna find a way. That's the concept of being a creator, is that whether I have the resources, whether I have the money or not, I have this inspiration that won't let me sleep, bro. I have this inspiration that was gonna constantly be nagging at me. It's gonna constantly bother me. I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna put it away for years and years and years. And it really doesn't matter what the circumstances around me are. This thing is inspiring me and it's pushing me. And eventually, the creators that are ready are gonna do whatever it is that they have to do to get to that point. I myself, I had put out a project that I started in 2013. I started a project in 2013. I had finished school and I was really struggling with what we now call the postgraduate depression, leaving school. And it was almost all of the identity that I had built in school was kind of gone now. It was boom, it kind of separated. And I do feel like there was some part of me that was still fighting to try to be relevant and still trying to find how do I now, it almost feels like now I have to build a whole new audience. And when you're that young, you're 23, 24, you're worried about being washed. You're oh no, all the juice I had is gone. Oh, so no, I gotta build. And then you go into the workforce. And I was a temp, so you go into the workforce, it's almost like you're a nobody. And I was looking around, I'm like they don't even know that they don't even know Mr. Marvel. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know the dope stuff that I do. They could never. And so I struggled with that for a little while, and I ended up just every day at my desk, sitting down and coming up with these concepts, writing on these little notepads. Because I was a writer, I was doing music at the time, I was producing beats, and I was also deeply, I was coming out of a creative writing program. So I was really just all things creative. And I would write and write and write, and I would write on notepads. I would go home and I would like boom, 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 I would jazz up. Or I would write on a Google Doc and then like email the Google Doc to myself, my personal email, delete it from my work email, and then like, you know, just kind of take care of it from there. And so I ended up creating this project called My Real Vicious Life. And My Real Vicious Life didn't even do what it needed to do, in my opinion. I still look at it as like a failed project because on DatPiff, it didn't hit the numbers that I was really looking for. The performances didn't really come thereafter. Like I had a lot of life changes, you know, and so I kind of felt like, damn, I put all this energy into this project and it never really got appreciated the way that I wanted it to because, you know, some people said it was a little too dark, it wasn't fun, it wasn't. And I was like, yeah, but it was just some real expression of what it means to be an artist, trying to find their footing and then joining this corporate world where you can't be too many things. You can't be too artsy in the corporate world. You can't have side gigs. And some people, oh, well, I got mine. Yeah, you do. But like a lot of people can't. It depends on where you're at. It depends on who you are. And so like I remember once I went for a job and they were like, oh, you're an English creative writing major. It's like, what, like, you're a writer or an author? And I remember being like, yeah. And the lady was like, you know, I just don't want to hire you because like you may write a book one day and just like blow up and then you leave us. My life. And I was like, that was like the lamest thing you could say to me, like ever. I wish I could get this feeling. I wish I could get this feeling. I wish I could get this feeling. I wish I could. Yeah. I talk a lot about My Real Vicious Life because I had poured so much creativity in it on the surface, on a sub-level, on sub-level 1, sub-level 2, sub-level 3. And like my goal was to create every song almost like it was its own little story. You know, you got Call It a While, Welcome to the World, Storyteller, which is where the whole concept of Alex the Storyteller came because I was at work and I would listen to music all day at work. Like I would just nonstop music and I'm looking for inspiration and I'm looking to feel inspired. And I remember I was listening to a lot of, you know, back then, if you knew me back then, I was listening to a lot of Jay Dilla, a lot of Ninth Wonder, a lot of Kanye, and this is like pre-Yeezus. And I remember, actually this is after Yeezus, now that I think about it. And I remember watching Kanye West's Storyteller.
The wrong thing. You worry about the wrong. You know when I listen to this song on the album, you worry about the wrong. I'm always upset that I didn't put that little harmony part. You worry about the wrong things, the wrong things. You worry about the wrong things, the wrong things.
And Kanye's storytelling in that session, you know, I didn't know that, like, I don't think a lot of people know that, like, that performance was supposed to be 30 minutes. And I think Kanye was on their stage for 3 hours and they needed to crunch it down into a much shorter performance. It might have been 90 minutes that it was supposed to be, but it was 3 hours they needed to crunch it down. He was going nonstop, he was rambling, he was telling you stories. But in those stories, man, it was like, wow, like look at how much more connected I feel to Paranoid, you know? Look at how much more I feel connected to Pinocchio's Story and Heartless and Flashing Lights. He did a 10-minute version of Love Lockdown, right? And I was just like, man, wow. Like, I want people to feel that connected to something. I know in my life, there are musical projects that I feel that connected to. Saint Elsewhere by Gnarls Barkley. You know, The Block is Hot by Lil Wayne. 400 Degrees by Juvenile. The G Code by Juvenile, right? Just to name a few. Man on the Moon 2. Like, I got the whole collection up there. Like, there's music that I feel that connected to because I know the story of what went into it. I know the story of where artists were when they were creating something, and it's both inspiring, but it's also like, damn, to go through these things and to create something through that circumstance, to me, is one of the dopest things that, like, I'm gonna get deep with it, but like, it's one of the dopest things that makes us human. If you see animals out in the world and they get chased, you know, a gazelle gets chased by a cheetah and it survives, it doesn't go put out my beautiful dark twisted fantasy, right? Like, it doesn't do that. It's like, oh shoot, I survived. I gotta fight to survive another day, right? There's gonna be another cheetah. We go through things in our lives and we're actually inspired to create something that is long lasting, like forever. And when I put out My Real Vicious Life, I was like so frustrated by it, man. I was frustrated by the fact that, like, yo, like, and then I thought about it, and over like the next year and a half, I realized, like, I didn't have a goal for My Real Vicious Life. And that's the downfall of it from a performance level, but that's the beauty of it from a standpoint of, like, the things that we create as creators, they are forever. They are forever, man. And I remember a buddy of mine who we had collabed a few times with, man, and we didn't put out nothing, but I think we have enough to put like a small little EP out, and we never did. We just put out one song, and I was like, bro, why do you destroy your music? He deleted one of my favorite projects of his. He just deleted it, and I was like, why? He was like, it wasn't good. It didn't represent me as a brand. I was like, yeah, but it would represent you more as a brand if it existed and then your next project came out and we could see the contrast between who you were then and who you are now. I deleted the project. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I never did. The Emblem project was deleted in 2017. It was a project from 2017. I didn't think it was a matter of if it was just not a cohesive project. It was actually me pushing through creator's block. And sometimes I do regret destroying that as well. I regret deleting it. The only song that's left from it in real time application that survived that was The Insomniac. So I'm talking about music right now, but the reason why I always call back to My Real Vicious Life is because without My Real Vicious Life, we wouldn't be here today with MRVL. Like, there is a direct flipping of all things in my life that was My Real Vicious Life and MRVL, MRVL standing for My Real Vivid Life, right? Like, successful or not, like, that project brought something. It carried something, right? Like, it carried something over, and I was like, yo, I want to change everything. Like, I want to just be, I want to live in creativity. And I embrace now that in order to live in creativity, you do have to navigate some level of, obviously, the business. You also have to navigate some aspect of, like, this tech shit. Like, I don't want to be a creative that doesn't understand how to use social media. I don't want to be a creative that doesn't understand how to expand all of the things that I do, because that's what my creativity needs. It needs that infrastructure. So when MRVL was kind of moving, when I was moving from just shooting content to actually, like, moving into no. I want bigger than content. I don't want to just shoot content. Content's it's not satisfying the itch. I go to sleep every night and there's something there that's telling me I want more. I want to do more. I want bigger. I want more vivid. When it came time, I was like, I know what I want to do. And I'm gonna call out my boy Jay real quick. I did the link up in Tampa in December of 2022 or 2021, actually. December of 2021, I did the link up in Tampa. And I remember we did this, I did this little, like, shot of the girls. It was like the misdemeanors and just kind of taking shots. And in my mind, I was like, yo, anything just fashion, any, like, Vicky had on the fur coat in December in Florida. It was 85 degrees, but the whole concept of the shoot was it's gonna be hot, but we're gonna make it look cold. And she had on a fur coat and she's like flapping it around, and you know what I mean? And I'm like, that's like the attitude I think about when I think of the Perfectionist. So the Perfectionist came from My Real Vicious Life. And I remember my boy Jay, love him to death. Him and I have been creatives. We've been best friends. We've been good friends for the last 20 years. And I remember he kind of tore me up. He was like, yo, he was like, what is that exactly? And I remember at first I started to get a little bit in my feels, and I was like, nah, man, like, you're so quick to like defend. And like, I was just in a different space where I was like, nah, let me receive. I'm not gonna push away negative commentary because I need all the commentary. I need the good commentary, I need the bad, because My Real Vicious Life never got either. So I'm very open. As a creative writer in a creative writing program, you sit just like this, your class circles you around, and you know what? You just sit there and you listen to all of the feedback. The good, the bad, the areas of opportunity, all of that. Like, you just sit there and take it. And I was like, I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna receive it. And I think when I was listening to his feedback, what I was hearing was, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm supposed to be latching onto or holding on to. And at that moment, I was like, I know why that is. It's because I'm masking all of these creative content projects behind what it is that I really want to do, which is like, I want to shoot a fucking music video. I didn't know what artists to go holla at. I didn't know who to go. And I'm like, I want to be able to take my time in building this music video. Because I don't know how to do it, and I don't want to show up and be like, all right, y'all, y'all stand over there and do. No. We're gonna go back into the art. We're gonna take our time. It took 2 years to do My Real Vicious Life. It took 6 years to complete The Perfectionist. Not because The Perfectionist was this like, it just took that long. I was 19 years old when I created the beat for The Perfectionist. I was just in my room. I used to make beats with a mouse. Like, I would just drag like a little piece of this instrumentation here. So I remember dragging, I'm like, okay. And I was like, oh, okay. And I could tell the story now because it's funny to me, but I remember being, if you went to, and I'm in Capitol Hall like, yeah, I just wanna take you home. I just wanna take you home. You know, this is like the little rock star era. It was this trash ass song that I was like in my room, like doing Charlie Brown dances to. I just wanna take you home. I just wanna take you home. That was the name of the song. And I remember being like, yeah, that shit is ass, bro. And like all things in my life, I let it sit, and I'm like, when it's ready for me, it'll tap me on my shoulder. And I feel that's how I feel about everything in the world. Like, when the time comes, it will tap you on your shoulder. It'll just be like, hey, hi, your table is ready. Is your whole party here? And you gotta be like, nah, the party left, but it's just me. And I brought The Perfectionist back in 2013. And I had added the Evita sample into it. The eyes, hair, face, image. Oh, must be this earth still life display forever. And I remember just being like, again, in my room, just, oh shit. Just, oh my God, what am I creating? I don't have a hook. Fuck it doesn't need a hook. Bounce, bounce. Bounce, 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 bounce. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, it took 6 years to manifest and build this song, 5, 6 years to build and like package this song from the original concept that started it. And I could even go deeper and further into the Perfectionist, because I'm saying all of this to say that like I decided to do the Perfectionist music video because it was bothering me. I kept shooting content and being like, yes, girl, all right, awesome. And while I was editing the video, I'd be like, it would just be in my mind. Like, it would just be bothering me, like eyes, hair, face, image, all must be deserved. And I'm like, I'm gonna put a song over this on Instagram. And I'm like, nah, I don't wanna do that. Because the person I shot that day doing content randomly, she was giving Perfectionist vibes. And so I built it all up. It took me about 3 months. And the reason why I was able to do it so fast, and the reason why I'm able to do so many of my creative decisions so fast, is because I have My Real Vicious Life as the backboard. Like, you look at My Real Vicious Life as a whole, you look at the track listing, you have like everything there that was created is real now. Like, Welcome to the World, I just released the video of me doing the quick little performance on Father's Day, because Welcome to the World is about fatherhood. Storyteller, stood on stage in front of my peers and heard boos and cheers. It's kind of funny when you drink and it be boos and cheers. I'm too close to perfection to have inertia. So fuck you if you doubt in the insertion, erection. Yo, rapping for a classic is drastic. It's easier to lose yourself than keep up with chapstick. It's madness, balance. I'm not sharing my happiness, not sharing my wealth unless we sharing some calluses. It was a MySpace page with the tune back in the day. A poet too consumed by words and a page. My girl is concerned cause damn, I got some rage. It's a real vicious life. Goddamn, get me on stage so I can strip away the pain. The demons and the worries, just take it all. My God, I want it all. My heart would never stop. It's when to go home just like the playoffs. Writing for the night cause I'm scared of a day job. That was like the anthem of Storyteller. Now I'm Alex the Storyteller. More whiskey, please. The Perfectionist. Him, I extracted that song. I turned it into a story. I'm currently working on a story called The Bellevue Boogeyman, which is about him. Him is pulled. Him could literally play in the story if it wanted to. Everything about My Real Vicious Life has been realized, repurposed, re-inspired, and reapplied into the creativity that I'm doing right now. And the reason why this is relevant into we have to take the opportunity for what's going on in this space right now has nothing to do with being rappers or whatever it is. It's that big tech cannot keep up with how fast inspiration is hitting creators in real time. Which means that there is a gap where we'll always be able to go into, connect with our audience, monetize quickly, get in and be a pioneer in that space. And right now, what's called owned media is one of the biggest opportunities. Massive opportunity. When I tell you it is such a big opportunity, it's no joke. It is no joke. And I hope that while you're watching this on TV. I hope you're watching this on YouTube TV. I hope you're watching this, well, not YouTube TV, but YouTube on your TV. I hope you're watching this on Substack on your TV. I actually hope that you're watching this on Instagram for TV. I hope you get exposure to how many spaces are now opening up with no real lead, you're not fighting other creators for attention anymore. You're fighting big tech. Right? Big tech to see how many of the doors, right? Think of yourself as running through a hallway, as all kinds of doors on both sides of you're running as fast as you can. Big tech is trying to figure out what doors to close so you don't get access to certain things. But you're running in there, and it's other creatives running as well. And so, you know, you have an opportunity to beat them to something, but also you have the opportunity to literally grab your wildest dream from God knows what age you created it and create something that now The infrastructure exists. If you don't know if the infrastructure exists, you can build the infrastructure. It's there. It's right there. All of it. 15 years ago, 12 years ago, 10 years ago, 10 and a half years ago, we were not sitting in a place where we have tools like Substack and Patreon available. 15 years ago, I did not have a subscriber list the size that it is now. 15 years ago, I also didn't have the wisdom to say, hey, I can do that for free if you give me your mailing list. And then me being at the event, literally standing on couches doing jump jacks, riling up the crowd. Alex August is such a wild boy. It's like, yeah, Alex August, Mr. Marvel. Because now you remember my name. So when that email hits your inbox, you're just like, yo, he was a good time. I'm going to stay on this inbox. I'm going to stay on this newsletter. All things with intention, all things with purpose. All things with intention, all things with purpose. All things with intention, all things with purpose. Like, which is why whenever I say, like, I am who I say I am, I mean that in the sense of, like, bro, I've always been this. The day I woke up and drank coffee and decided that, wow, it's always been this, was a beautiful day, and it still is. So what you'll see a lot of on my Substack moving forward is going to be a lot of videos like this. I know this is a longer one. There's so much storytelling. I started to kind of go off. My bad, y'all. But it's going to be a lot of videos like this of just, let's chat for a second. I want to share something with you. If you are a creator and you're interested in understanding how to build on Substack, watch. Just subscribe to the new rules. Watch along with me, and you'll get an understanding of how this is very, very different from a lot of other platforms and why it's also one of my favorite platforms, to be honest with y'all. I think anywhere where we are and anywhere we want to be as creators and as people who love to just watch dope shit, dope people creating dope stuff, I think we have to go where the opportunities are boundless. The creativity is boundless, fam. I think that's what makes the most sense. And so I encourage you to check out my Substack, to subscribe to my Substack, and also follow and subscribe to the MRVL Substack, because a lot of what we do, a lot of what I do will be case studies that will be provided to MRVL to further help people. You might not be a creative, you might be a business owner. And I love when people say that to me. I love when people tell me I'm not a creative, I'm a business owner. And then I start to ask them questions, and then I find out that they used to draw. I ask them further questions, and I find out they used to sing. I find out they used to be an artist. I find out that in somewhere in their life, before they were a business owner, before they had to click and select the drop down, they were doing something in their life that felt like art. Numbers can be your art. You might be a CPA. Connecting with people may be your art. Public speaking may be your art. Somehow, some way, y'all, I can do videos like this, talking to absolutely no one with no script. There is an art to this and to the ability to be this passionate. All of us have that shit in us. Unless you are a gazelle who just outran a cheetah and you're just like, thank God. Oh my God. I live to see another day. Just, you know what I mean? Just going through the savannah. Just, oh God. Oh my goodness. Let me go home to my kids and click antlers against my homies. You know what I mean? Like, no, you're an artist. Somewhere in you. You might like music. Something in you requires you to do something different. And now is the perfect time. All right, let me go make some coffee.
Some people spend a whole lot before the long run.